Hello, hello, hello! Welcome back to the channel. Let's get on with the next guide. It's gonna be kind of a short guide, but it's not gonna cover everything, if that makes sense. So we're gonna start game Dev Tycoon. I'm sure you've heard about it, seen it, probably played it. I'm gonna do it anyway. Generic company name, generic player name. I think that works for me. Can mess around with the hair. It's kind of me, I guess, kind of. Now this is quite cool. When I first played it, they didn't have this, but it's I guess just kind of experience, I guess, you make in your other games, and it makes it easier to create good games, and it'll tell you what works and what doesn't work. So I click yes to that, kind of import that in, and you start in a basement. And here's this. Basically, I'm going to guide you through a game, making it from the start, from naming it right to the finish, publishing, reviewing, and selling it. So there's a lot of topics here, as you can see, to unlock. There's only a few to start with. I think it's a random few. There's not much to work with here, so I'm kind of just. I called it Pong because I thought that was going to be my first game, but I don't think it's going to be the best name. So I'm going to steal something else. It's got to be PC. As you can see, the green right in there. That's kind of my experience from other games. It tells me what works well on the PC. So racing simulator is definitely going to need 2D graphics. I don't think a text-based racing game's kind of a thing. Well, if it was, it's probably before my time. So as you can see, this is the first stage, and these pluses, it's kind of experience from when you've made other games, and after you make a game you can do a review of it, and it'll tell you what works and what doesn't, and it kind of compiles it and shows you it for the next time, which is done here. Which is kind of a cool feature, and it was added in a later patch after release, because I think they got some bad feedback about just there wasn't really much things to tell you what works and what doesn't, apart from looking up on the wiki, which was kind of annoying. So as you can see, they don't really want dialogues in a racing game, where there can be kind of snide comments. I thought that might be quite cool, but obviously they don't want that. But yeah, you do the development stages, and the more experienced your coder is, these bubbles will pop out of his head, and they'll float to the sky. Probably more bugs than anything. That's kind of my luck. Graphics will be good, cool, yep, graphics will be good. And yeah, the more numbers you get for the tech and the design, the better your game's going to be, basically. Bugs are always bad. You wait until the end of development, and then I don't ever see why you'd ever release a game with bugs in this game, because you can just wait a few seconds and then all the bugs will be destroyed. So I don't really see why you'd ever do that. But if you do, if you're really in a rush, you can release it with bugs, and you can attempt to do a patch later on, but it'll cost you, and if you don't do it, you'll lose fans. As you can see, new topic, new combo, it's always good, and there's lots and lots of things to level up here. This is just for one person, main guy here. And there we go, game published, pretty much simple as that. It's kind of self-explanatory, that's why this is a short video. It probably doesn't cover very much, but you know, it's worth a try, it's worth a watch if you really haven't seen it up till now. There's countless videos out there, probably doing it better than me, but anyway, driver, as my accent likes to play to. I would say it's pretty well received. Everyone seems to like it. So you wait a few seconds, news will pop up, tell you new company, it's doing well, they'll think there might be good things in the future, and then you'll start getting fans and money on the right, as you can see. Bar goes up, more fans, more money. It wasn't a big hit, but it wasn't a flop for my first game, so I'm pretty proud of that. And then it will slowly drop in the charts every week after that until it's taken off the market. It's quite a big drop. And then you can click, you can see the history, it'll tell you profit, income, things like that. It's good, but after a while when you make a lot of games it's kind of hard to manage. But yeah, you want to do a game review afterwards, and that will kind of do a report, what worked well, what didn't, and then it will add into the future when you're developing more games. It'll give you more experience to know what works and what doesn't. And then while you're doing that, you get research points, which are very useful. You're going to need them to progress in the game. Here's my game report. It just basically said what works and what doesn't, and you can research things like I've done here. Lots of topics to do. Right then, let's have a look at research. It's a very important part of the game. It's going to play a lot of time. You're going to spend a lot of time looking into it. First, my favourite thing to do, I think, in this whole game is to create a custom engine. And that basically means, you know how Battlefield, they're always advertising their Frostbite engine and then all the features it's got. It's basically that kind of thing. You can make your own engine, you can include any features you want, Right now I'm just researching it, so I'm able to do that. As you can see, research is complete. You gather research points when you're doing activities and stuff, and now I can create a custom engine. And basically, you call it what you want. I kind of like to do it in iterations. I'm going to try and avoid the copyright claims. I know how YouTube loves to do that. So I'm going to call it Frost Height. And then these are the features I've unlocked so far, and you can learn more by researching more things. Multiplayer, different sounds, custom things, saves, all this kind of cool things. And it costs a lot of money to make them, just like in real life. And once you do, well, you want to keep them up to date. You want to use as much money as you can updating it, well, as much as you can really. I think it's going to help sell the games, keep them current. Ooh, some news. There's a lot of cool news in this game. They're all blatant rip-offs of things, which is the point. They change a couple of letters to avoid legal issues. It's quite cool. You play it more and more advanced consoles come out, just like in real life, up to a point, and then eventually you can start developing your own consoles. Okay, then rather than playing this for ages and doing it the hard way, I'm going to load a save game up. As you can see here, the save games list is pretty cool. It shows you how many fans, how much money, how long you've been playing it for, and when you last played it. As you can see here, I'm going to choose this one. It's got a fair bit more money, fans, and everything really. And as you can see, I've changed location to an office, which is pretty cool. It definitely beats the basement, and there's a lot later technology now. As you can see, that's supposed to be the iPhone, made by Grapple. Wonder who that could be. And then it's got quite a lot of detail about things that have been released. It's happened quite often up to a point until it runs out and the story kind of ends. But as you can see here, I've hired 3 people. You get famous names sometimes in the world of coding. This is a game convention that's being run. You can choose how much the size of your booth you want to get. It'll help you boost fans and hype for your game. Haven't got enough money at the moment, so I'm going to get a small booth. As you can see here, when you start hiring more people, you can make bigger games. There's a lot more options now. When you click things, sequels is pretty cool. You got a successful franchise, or a franchise you just want to develop more. It gets a lot more detail further on. There's not much point in me explaining it really, because by this point you'll know what's going on. As you can see here, loads more depth. I really think you should play this game if you haven't already. It's just so addictive, you'll probably come back to it again and again. It's a lot of fun, and it's just quite different. Yeah, give it a try. Thank you very much. I'll do a lot more videos. I'll try and make it a bit more consistent. But yeah, apart from that, thank you and good night. I don't think that works either really, does it? Next time, maybe I'll get it. Bye bye.